Okay, here we are. Showing my persona setup. I've got Gary Stu with White Rider, mainly for the high HP plus Tentarafu, as well as the possibility of using Guillotine on someone with an ailment. I will say ailments are good for this fight. This is another boss that is vulnerable to poison, and it kind of cheeses it, so I'd prefer not to use poison if I can help it. But I will be trying to use Panic if I can. Chie has Turdak. I mainly just want someone with Lethargy Circle here, but I really like the idea of Heroic Gemini activating on Shinkuha when I'm power charged. The chance of that actually happening is very low, but it'd be pretty awesome if it did happen. Now, Yukari's got a very strange persona. I've actually got her with All Mitsunu. That's lower SP, but the high HP means it's more likely that my healer will survive for a while, and her main role in this fight is just going to be to spam Gurula and or possibly healing later. Zen and Rei obviously don't need a persona, and Mitsuru has Kaiwan. I want to keep that circle recovery going as long as I possibly can. Other than that, I have Maraki, which means she can hit weaknesses on 2 of the enemies in this fight. Summon Ghost could potentially be a good follow-up to getting a boost as well. As for equipment, I've got you with the Spiral Sword, and you're pretty much... Do I have anything better than the Metal Protect? Oh, I've got the Night Scale. Yeah, I've got a very female-dominated party here, so no one else was using the Night Scale. Guess I can go with that. Actually, Lightning Gloves are not going to be helpful in this fight, so is there anything that I can use here? Strength Endurance Reverse might not be a terrible idea, although I will be using a few physical attacks in this fight. Yeah, you know what? How about I go for the Strength Endurance Reverse? I want to give him a little bit more defense. You have the free ornament because it sucks when Chie gets hit. Well, it sucks when your physical attacker in general in this fight gets hit with a bind. So, I've got the free ornament on her and the Breeze Tutu. Yukari has the Authority Badge just to boost her stats up a little bit. Zen and Rei have the Merit Badge, and I've given them the Gumball, which I found earlier. It only has 1 power, but it can inflict Magic Bind, which can be nice. This is also the item that we found from the scary Takoyaki room. It's not really that big of an improvement over the other stuff, really. And Mitsuru, I don't think I actually have a status sword for Mitsuru yet. If I had one, I would definitely be using it here, but I don't. So, as such, her physical weapon doesn't really matter. I bought the Capital Robe, and she's got the Promise Bracer, because that could kind of help here. Although, really, I would rather have the Promise Bracer on someone else, like possibly even Gary Stu. But yeah, everyone's got a lot of jobs in this fight. So, yeah. Hopefully everything goes well. I am horrendously underleveled for this, but if I abuse status, I probably can do it. So, that sign there says Operation in Progress. Let's interrupt it. The way that door opens is so cool.
Doing here, little children?
Stay away!
It's time to begin your operation!
No long cutscene here, this boss gets straight to the point.
It's all right, Rei. Calm down.
So it's time to fight the Kind Doctor along with his sidekicks, the Calm Nurse and Caring Nurse. This dungeon loves ironic names. So anyway, I'll be covering the nurses first because they're the ones you want to fight first. The Calm Nurse is weak to ice, and the Caring Nurse is weak to fire. Just think of it as the opposite colour to the one they're wearing. The Calm Nurse mainly acts as status ailment support in this fight, but she can also use Diorama and Mediorama. That's why you want to get rid of her first. But she can use Poison Breath, Binding Cry, Tentarafu, Silent Song, and Muscle Down. So, lots of status ailments. You gotta watch out for that. That's why I have Zen and Rei for Platinum Coin. I'm so glad that Rei learned that recently, because that's a lifesaver in this fight. The Caring Nurse, meanwhile, is a bit more straightforward. She mostly exists to buff the Doctor's attack and defense, and debuff your defense. So, yeah, she's mainly buff support. You can get rid of her first if you want, but I prefer to get rid of the Calm Nurse first because of the healing. As for the Doctor himself, the Doctor is very basic. The Doctor just hits you really, really hard with physical attacks. There's not really that much special to the Doctor, he just is a physical powerhouse with a lot of HP. I like to focus on the Calm Nurse first, so let's begin. Right then. Do I go for Tentarafu or... Actually, I like to go for Masuku Kaja early on in this fight. And I also like to set up Lethargy Circle early because I love to get Agility Bind on the Doctor. Agility Bind really neutralizes his threat value. The Doctor is weak to wind, but I prefer not to attack him yet because then the Calm Nurse will just heal him. So yeah, I'm going to focus on the nurses beforehand, and for that reason, Yukari is actually going to just straight up attempt to go for Magic Bind on one of the nurses. Zen and Rei are going to go for Frozen Spear, and Mitsuru is going to go for Buffalo on the Calm Nurse. I like getting Masuku Kaja set up for the evasion. Okay, Evil Smile's not the worst thing in the world, but Chie getting hit by it is bad. And the Doctor is buffed. That's not good. Because he hits incredibly hard. I have actually bought some Purifying Salts, just in case we get hit with Maraku Unda. Now, hopefully the Doctor gets Agility Bound. Okay, one of you got Agility Bound. Okay, he went for the back row at least. And Circle Recovery.
Oh, the Doctor's grown stronger. It seems the Blue Nurse offers support.
So yeah, Blue Nurse is buffs, but I want to get rid of the Red Nurse first, and Chie being hit with Curse is kind of bad. I'm actually going to go for Tentarafu this turn. Yeah, I really don't like Chie going down here, and Shinkuha plus Curse is not going to end well for her. Unless I cure it before she gets a chance to attack. That's certainly possible. I'd have to give up Zen and Rei's turn, but I suppose I could go for Refresh to remove status ailments. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, Mitsuru will actually use Summon Ghost. I could go for a Mind Charge, but then I'd have to spend a lot of SP on Summon Ghost. So this is heavy damage to everyone, as long as there's a circle up. So yeah, the circles both give the enemies debuffs, they gradually heal us, and they provide... Of course I get the panic on the one who I've already bound. Of course Chie gets hit with Strength Bind. This is not going well. Okay, at least that missed. I was hoping you'd attack the Doctor or the other nurse. Okay, got both of the nurses bound. That sounds weird. The Doctor is one that I really want Agility Bound, though. For some reason, I find these bosses recover very quickly from binds and ailments, so you do have to be careful there. I could actually go for a Guillotine on one of them, but... I could use Prayer to get rid of Chie's bind, but I think I should I'd rather save that for an absolute emergency. So in this case, let's actually... No, let's not go for Guillotine yet. I want to get rid of the nurse first. But I could go for a boost off of the other one. Actually, I can't use Shinkuha with you. That is extremely annoying. Perhaps while Chie's turn is a little indisposed, I could actually go for an item with Chie. Gonna save my Purifying Salts for later, though. Oh, I guess she could try and cure her own bind so Zen and Rei don't have to. And, I don't want to start using up Yukari's SP too soon. But I could do that and then go for a cheap heal next turn, or I could... There's a lot of possibilities here. Tentarafu's not likely to really connect with Yukari that much. I guess I will try going for the Doctor, and then I'll use Frozen Spear, and you'll go for... Not Maragi, Buffalo. Want to get rid of the healing nurse as quickly as I can. Okay, good one, but that's going to get healed off eventually too. And of course, we'd finished up a horror hospital with creepy nurses and doctors. That's just another common horror trope, isn't it? There's just something about nurses and... It's just nurses in general for some reason. I think Silent Hill may have started that trend, but I could be wrong. Oh boy, Gigantic Fist. I've already used up the scapegoat. That's not good. I like saving the scapegoat for later. Yeah, see, that healing is so insane that you really just don't want to even try to fight the doctor until the red nurse is down.
The doctor's been healed! Oh, the red one healed him!
So yeah, red one needs to go right now, and unfortunately Garrus lost his boost. And I really want to use... I suppose I could go for Healing Breeze, but that means I won't be able to use Prayer later. Renewal... I don't want to go for Renewal Ray. Are we still... Yes, we are still Master Kukaja'd, and the Doctor is Agility bound. I'll go for Medea. Now, hopefully, Chie can actually hit something for once. And you are in boost, so you could actually go for a heal here. I don't think there's really that much else you could do. And you could Frozen Spear again, while Mitsuru goes for another Summon Ghost. How fitting that we're actually using ghosts against the final boss of the horror dungeon. Yeah, that healing was pretty pathetic on Gary Stu there. I don't think I've ever actually used a Summon Ghost strategy in this fight before. So this is interesting. Okay, good, you didn't go for us. Finally, Chie actually gets to hit someone. And boost. Oh no, please don't hit Chie. Thank you. Wow, nice platinum coin there. Ray is still putting in work. And that's the end of that circle, and the end of my Master Kukaj'a. Thankfully, it's also the end of the Doctor's Tarukaja. The nurses do not have a lot of health, so they don't go down, like, they go down pretty quickly. Okay, thankfully you're still agility bound, but sometimes you hit me even through agility bind, so I kind of like to use Master Kukaj'a again anyway. You're going to... should you power... yeah, you're actually going to go ahead and power charge. And how about you go for... Garula... Frozen... no, I want agility circle back. I really want agility circle back. I know it might seem like it's pointless because two of them are agility bound, but I want to keep that circle going as long as I can. Because I really like having access to summon Ghost. Of course, I could also use Megado, which is kind of similar.
Here I go.
Summon Ghost, I think, is slightly stronger. Yeah, I could have gone for Power Charge there. I like to save that for when the Doctor's alone, though. Okay, good. More damage on the nurse. Like I said, the nurse prefers to heal the Doctor. She usually doesn't heal herself, but I think I've seen her do that at least once. Of course, she does have Media armor. Evil Smile again. Wow, superb Platinum Coin block again. And that's exactly why I like to have both Master Kukaj'a and Agility Bind active on the Doctor at once, because he can still hit you through one of them, so I like both for the extra insurance. Especially since the Doctor has a very powerful move that he likes to use sometimes, called Drastic Measure, which inflicts a whole ton of randomized bash attacks to the entire party. If he's not agility bound when he does that, that attack can very easily kill you, so you have to watch out for that one, especially if he's buffed. Okay, the nurse is not quite as low on health as I expected her to be, and Gary Stu is actually running a little bit low on SP for now. I do have some reserve SP recovery items, though. I'm gonna go ahead and go for a Shinkuha, and I suppose Yukari can Medea right now? Or she could... I mean, I don't think Hailstorm will do a lot of damage, but... or I could attempt another... I guess I'll attempt a Tentarafu with her, even though it might not really work. Frozen Spear, or... you know what, I kind of want to be safe here. Let's go for healing, and then let's go for another Summon Ghost, which kind of sounds like a Yugo thing. This might not do much. I kind of figured as much. Which means the Doctor is fully free to actually hit us this turn, and that's not good.
Orpheus.
Oh, that would have been really funny if it had actually killed the other nurse. Come on, Heroic Gemini. No.
I saw that.
Okay, good dodge there. Okay, thankfully she's still healing the doctor, not herself.
No way!
No agility bind on the doctor. At least we still get the circle recovery.
The doctor's been healed! Ah, the red one heals him!
Yeah, so you don't want to focus on the doctor until both nurses are down. At least one of the nurses is down. Got 2 turns left on my buff. I could go for Megado, actually. Or I could go for Medea. I definitely want Chie to be healed here. But the temptation to use Megado is really, really high. If that's the case, though, I guess Zen and Ray could heal. And I guess Yukari could attempt to go for... If I Magic Bind the Doctor, he won't be able to use Power Charge. Because yes, he can actually Power Charge, by the way. I haven't even been trying to target the other nurse, and she's already taken a ton of damage from all of my summoned ghosts. Okay, yeah, let's go for a recovery there. Should I do that, or should I actually go for... You know what, I might actually go for Meraki, just in case Gary Sue's Megado finishes off the nurse. It did! Good, so I'm glad I went for Meraki.
It's useless. Hang in there, guys!
Oh, that was lucky. Definitely want to keep Chie healed. And we're at a max support meter.
Full force!
Okay, that's good. No heroic Gemini yet. Oh, I had a feeling that would happen. But he's bound again.
You defeated one of the nurses! Only the other nurse and the doctor remain!
Good. The blue nurse and doctor are all that remain.
Fuka just said that. Yeah, I find that your party members have some very, very redundant dialogue in this fight. Depending on who you bring here. But the other nurse is panicked right now. I still want to get rid of her, though. Let's see, I'm at a max support meter, but I still like to save prayer for a panic button. I guess I could go for Healing Breeze. I do like to keep Lethargy Circle up, though. I was thinking of using Mitsuru's boosted turn to go for Silent Circle, just so that I have a circle active, but I could also just go for Summon Ghost. How about that, and then... Yeah, Chie really, really needs to get healed. I guess at this point I could safely go for Garalas on the Doctor, but again, I also want to heal Chie. I guess we'll recover, and you'll go for... Megado, or... Well, I suppose Summon Ghost is an even stronger version of Megado. I already had regenerating health. I think, I'm actually not sure if Circle Recovery and... what is it, that Heroic Aura or something? The one that does 5% HP recovery every turn, if they're stacking or not? At this point, I kind of like to go for a Garula chain with Yukari. Just keep her boosted as long as possible. Another nurse down. Uh-oh, here's Drastic Measure. And that's why I like to have him agility bound, by the way.
No way! The nurses have been defeated. Only the doctor is left. Okay, the nurses are toast. You better be ready.
Okay, so, just him, and at this point, things are kind of simple. He's mainly just spamming physical attacks and not that much else. But we still have to be really careful here. I don't want to lose it this late into the fight. In fact, I think about now, Chie should start power charging. Should Yukari heal? I think actually Zen and Ray are going to heal again this time, and Yukari's going to keep that Garula pressure up. Recovery, and Mitsuru really doesn't have a lot to do at this point in the fight, unfortunately. I suppose she can go for that. So, at this point, I guess I can ask, how are you guys liking this boss theme? I personally, I didn't like it at first, but it really grew on me as I played through the game. Okay, we're now defense buffed and agility buffed. And he's trying to anesthetize us, and unfortunately Yukari fell asleep. That's not good.
Yukari-chan, wake up! Stop it. I'm watching my weight.
I thought just going to say I'm watching Featherman in a reference to what she would eventually be doing in Persona 4 in Ultimax, but okay then, the Doctor is no longer agility bound, and it looks like our circle is gone, which is incredibly bad. Oh, it looks like Chie lost Healing Breeze due to our 3 buff limit. That's good to know, because Power Charge takes up 1 slot. You can try and Tentarafu. Yeah, now this is actually a problem, because we're starting to run very low on SP right now. You still have enough for Lethargy Circle, though. I think I'll actually go for Lethargy Circle. I really need to set that up. And I guess you can start going for some Cyclones, and Mitsuru doesn't really have a lot to do at this point in the fight. Sadly. But she served her purpose earlier on.
What the?
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Here I go.
Only 2 hits though, that's not a lot of damage. Really like to keep this Lethargy Circle going. And good, agility bound.
It's useless.
Glad that missed Zan and Ray.
That enemy is weak to wind. Okay, what should I do next?
So now it's just whittling down this guy's HP. And you know, to be honest, I actually kind of almost feel like using poison at this point, but I actually don't think I brought anyone who had poison. Guess we can Shinkuha, and yeah. This part of the fight's not that interesting. I guess Mitsuru will be on item duty.
Here I go.
Again, only 2 hits. We do have to keep an eye on him because he can power charge. When he does that, you do want to defend. Come on. Yes! Unfortunately, though, the second one is not power charge boosted. That's a shame.
Huh?
Healing Breeze is gone, but we still circle recover.
Now, this might hurt just a bit, but it'll be all right.
I confirmed a drop in the Doctor's health. Not much, though.
Ray, are you not feeling well?
No. Stay away.
I could actually use this to set up the bind circle again, which I might actually want to do. Yukari's been asleep for a while now. Maybe you go ahead and use a Soma Droplet on, I feel like Gary Stu, maybe? Chie might need to set up the circle again when she's not boosted, though. There we go, 3 hits.
No way.
Yeah, so this is kind of a slow process now, but I like to keep him agility bound as much as I can.
I'll support you.
Oh, there's power charge, and knowing my luck, his agility bind is going to wear off now, isn't it?
The Doctor is charging up.
No, it's not.
Be careful. Zen, be careful.
I will. Ray, stay behind me.
I like how Ray actually shows concern for Zen there, rather than the other way around. But anyway, I have a dilemma here. I can either trust in agility bind to hope that he misses, or play it safe and defend with everyone this turn. It's probably best if I don't get cocky here. Though granted, I think I am still... No, I'm not buffed. Well, I guess I can try... Oh, this is going to probably end really, really badly, but I'm going to go for it. You'll defend just in case something really terrible happens.
It's all mine.
I'm pretty confident that with Agility Bind, he's going to miss most of his attacks here. But of course, if he ever goes for Power Charge when he's not Agility Bound, just defend with everyone. You don't even want to try attacking. Nice one, Heroic Gemini. Okay, I got a little unluckier with that than I thought I would.
Huh?
And with Gary Stu down, I can't use Prayer.
Leader is unconscious. Can anyone
And his agility bind is gone.
Leader! Oh, this isn't good.
I sort of want to use Cheer's turns to just keep that circle going. I need to get agility bind as often as possible. And let's see, they kind of have to keep up the cyclone, otherwise bad things will happen. Now's probably as good a time as any to use my one Balm of Life.
It's all mine.
He's almost down to 50%. And this guy doesn't have any changes in pattern whatsoever as his health gets lower.
No way!
He just does the exact same thing. The main variance in this fight comes from the calm and caring
I'll
nurses.
support you.
Main reason I did that is because I now have access to, to prayer.
I can! I'll pierce right through!
Follow-up attack against the boss, nice.
Ah, that sucks.
No, they didn't suck, they did some pretty good damage.
Oh, someone seems to be in high spirits today. Maybe you're ready for the operation. I'm known all over as a skilled surgeon. It'll be over before you know it.
The doctor's health is getting low! Good, let's get this over with.
So, this guy's voice actually sounds like Sam Riegel. I'm not sure on the voices of the other dungeon bosses, but this guy definitely sounds like a heavily distorted Sam Riegel. Okay, then what do I do now? I could set up Healing Breeze again, I guess. It's not agility bound though, which could be really bad. Of course, you're not Master Concussion because you just went down. Tentarafu doesn't really seem to be working much for me, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't resist that. I'll just keep going for Shinkuha with you. Well, only the front row really needs healing, so Zen and Ray can handle that. Although if they do that, I don't think they'll have enough SP for Cyclone next. This is kind of problematic. I do have my medical kit, but that's also probably going to be reserved for an emergency. Should have brought some more regular healing items, because all I have is stuff that increases SP. I want to save that for later. That's not great. Do I use that on Zen and Ray? Because I need them to be able to heal me. Yeah, I do want to play this safe. Let's go for recovery, and let's go for the Chewing Soul on Zen and Ray.
Come, Lucia! Hang in there!
Did I just say allies now has regenerating health? Yeah, the grammar on a lot of those, battle lines there just seems a bit weird.
It does!
Yeah, Panic doesn't really seem to work on you all that well. Yeah, their SP is completely full. No crit there, though. Okay, now I need to defend. Unless you get... Nope.
The doctor is charging up! Be careful! What's he doing now?
Yeah, you definitely want to defend now. That actually hurts a lot, even with defending, though.
Huh?
Still no agility bind.
One enemy left. I'm low on energy, so let's get physical!
Okay, this could be pretty bad, actually. Oh, just not enough for Garula. No, you're faster than Mitsuru. How do I go about this? Okay, hopefully I have not messed up speed order here. Revival bead goes off there.
Hit it!
Yukari is stuck doing that and kind of hoping for a critical. Then the medical kit. Okay, yeah, good, I got that right.
Nanomighty Grey!
Would Appreciate more criticals there, Chie. Well, you got another chance for one. Did not get one. You love going for the front row, don't you?
Huh? One enemy left.
I'm a little run down.
He's almost down, but I don't really want to use prayer just yet, because only Gary Stu really desperately needs healing right now. He can probably safely go for a Medea, while you either use recovery or... I just want to keep him up as much as possible. But that does sacrifice my damage output a little bit, because Mitsuru's pretty useless at the moment.
I'm counting on you, Orpheus.
Hang in there, guys!
Yeah, just for good measure.
Hit it! Full force!
The moment Chie is the one handling most of the damage output.
Full force!
There we go, there's a crit. I kind of needed that, because I might need to use that to put the circle back up. Uh-oh, power charge again. Unless this agility binds. No. We're really close.
The doctor is charging up! Be careful! Yeah, I got it! Thanks!
I kind of want to set the circle up again, actually.
Full force!
Just need to keep that lethargy circle up as long as I can.
Away!
This is going to be bad. Here comes drastic measure. You know, I probably shouldn't have put Gary Stu in the front row.
There is one enemy remaining.
Perhaps I should use my persona sparingly.
Just realized that, actually. That is kind of dumb. But let's go with Operation... Same thing we did it before with the revival bead and then someone healing him.
Are you alright?
I should probably use prayer soon, because if I don't use it at least once this fight, it's kind of a waste. Okay, he's fully healed. Doctor takes 1 damage. I'm actually glad that hit the back row.
No way!
Getting pretty unlucky with agility bind, though.
No, no! What's wrong? The condition's getting worse. Emergency surgery is called for. Don't worry. We'll save you.
Yeah, that's definitely Sam Riegel.
The doctor's almost down!
Don't relent until the end!
Oh, I do not want to lose it this late. Let's go. I suppose Goku Entor, Shinkuha. Yeah, let's just pile that pressure on now. Finally, you can go back to using Cyclone.
Here I go.
This fight is taking a really long time because I'm under-leveled, but... Like I said, if I can do something without grinding, I will.
Channel my strength!
Cher's health is a little low for my liking right now. Oh, there's power charge again. Okay, I think I'm going to use prayer now.
The doctor is charging up! Be careful!
Very well. We'll keep our eyes open.
No, that's not worth it. I'm actually going to have Zen and Ray go for Cyclone again. And here's prayer. Yep, that restores 999 HP and cures all status ailments. I would have liked 3 hits there.
Hit it!
Actually, why don't I do that with Yukari? I'm dumb. Oh, great.
No way!
Really? Come on, agility bind.
Yukari-chan is unconscious!
I need to revival bead you, and then I need to probably Soma tier him as well, actually.
Are you alright?
support
I think
you.
he starts spamming Power Charge a lot more when he's low on health. I'm pretty nervous right now. Still no crits for Chie. Ow. Well, our support meter fills up pretty quickly. Good, finally you've got Agility Bind on you. And it's almost down. Suppose I can go for Medea here. I really don't want Yukari to miss out on the experience in this fight, actually, so in that case, I might have Mitsu. How many of these? I only have one revival bead left. I kind of want to save that for Gary Stu, but then again, we are almost done with this fight. He is not power charged, and he's agility bound, so... Let's go. I'm going to need to really restock my items after this. Okay, 3 hits, nice. Okay, come on, Heroic Gemini or critical. Okay, there's a crit. No Heroic Gemini.
Huh?
Please tell me this agility bind didn't just wear off.
The doctor is charging up.
Oh, he's low. I don't think I can actually beat him in one round of attacks at this point. I'm actually going to use a Healing Breeze, but he is agility bound. I am 1 SP off of using Megado, really? I could try to finish him this turn. Actually, wait a minute. Bolt Link might not be a bad idea. Yeah, let's go for Bolt Link. Okay, he has to die right now or I'm in trouble.
Here I go.
Because he'll likely hit a few of his power charge attacks through the agility bind. Okay, there's a Heroic Gemini, and I think that actually triggers the link. Yeah, it does. Oh, he's not dead yet, though. Still not dead. There we go. And now I can finally say this without having to speak too soon.
Excellent attack. I'll be counting on you.
Deathless Evil Spirit Club! Yes! I was not mentioning that at all throughout this entire run because I didn't want to jinx it, but wow. I just went through the entire Evil Spirit Club with no game overs on hard mode. I don't want to sound like too arrogant or anything, but I feel the need to brag about that because you got to admit that's pretty cool.
Looks like mine's gotten stronger.
Okay, Demon's Cut. To be honest, I don't really want Demon's Cut. And that's the only new skill we learned. The Doctor is out.
That must be what the Guardian was protecting.
Do we have to?
The kind of dodgy animation makes that look like a severed arm, but it's actually not.
Hair?
As he says, it's a lock of hair.
Yikes, that's kinda...
At least it's not a severed arm.
Very fitting for a haunted house, huh?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like it's about the length of Yukiko's.
Hair tends to get tangled and damaged when you grow it out long, but this hair is really pretty. Whoever this hair belonged to must have been proud of it. It looks like they took very good care of it.
Proud.
Oh, the bell. Will another of the locks on the door in the Velvet Room come off?
Who's that? Someone's coming. They're calling for me.
Calling? I don't hear anything. You're not just letting this place get to you?
Who is it? No, I
Ray-san, please calm down. There is no one here.
No! Can we please go? Let me out of here! I don't want to be here anymore! I'll be a good girl! I've had it with this hospital and school stuff! I want to go home, where everyone is! I want to go back together!
Yeah, he's right. We'll go back together.
But you're the one who made this school, Ray.
Me?
Huh? I've remembered a little more. You wished for this school and created it. Are you truly trapped here?
I don't know. I don't know, Zen.
Ray-san.
Zen-kun, I recall you saying that Ray-san's belongings are hidden in the depths of the labyrinths. If, as you claim, Ray-san created this school, then the labyrinths we've traversed and the large shadows within them are connected to her.
This entire place we've been exploring, it's all essentially been one giant palace for Ray.
Extrapolating even further, it's possible that Ray-san created all of these things.
Is someone we wondered about at the start. Perhaps there is no third party but Ray and Zen.
So, what?
If she controls this place with her mind though, why are we all stuck here?
Ray created this place, made guardians to protect stuff, but now she's lost her memories and wants out?
It raises more questions than it answers.
This isn't the last labyrinth yet. We're still missing pieces of the puzzle.
You know, I was just about to say that. Rare instance of Akihiko in this game actually being logical.
Yeah, the next one should be the last. The rest of the blanks should get filled in there.
Yes, I agree. Let's return to the Velvet Room.
Sorry, I think I'm running out of energy.
No, don't worry, we'll be returning soon. I want to map this room out even though there's no point, because I like mapping out all the rooms. This room's pretty massive, but anyway. Yeah, that fight, it's actually not really that difficult if you're prepared for it, but it can definitely get you if you're not careful to pay attention to any power charges. Agility Bind is a lifesaver in that fight. Also, if you want to speed things up, he is vulnerable to poison. There's only one lock left. One more labyrinth.
As we thought, another lock is gone. Only one remains. The next labyrinth will be the last.
The last one is on the 3rd floor. It seems to be at the Inaba Pride exhibit.
All right. I want all of you rested and prepared. Let's disband for now.
Yukari-chan, do you want some takoyaki? Rise-chan and I bought some. Ooh, count me in!
I was chatting with Fuku-chan earlier. We were really hitting it off.
Well, you two are just by yourselves most of the time. So, what were you chatting about?
The secrets of showbiz.
Wow, that's dark.
Actually kind of amusing considering Yukari would end up getting into showbiz later on.
Rise-chan knows so much. She told me things, like the shenanigans that popular idols are up to. You know.
Oh, they'll be up to even crazier shenanigans in Persona 4 Dancing All Night, believe me.
Just make sure you don't slack off support duties, okay?
Oh, still nowhere near as crazy shenanigans as the idols in Tokyo Mirage Sessions get up to.
Yes, ma'am. You seem to be getting along well, though. I was a little worried since you can be shy around strangers. Well, you know how my abilities are unique, right? I'm different from you guys. I can't fight shadows. I know I'm the only one who can do this, but sometimes I just feel lonely and inferior. Fuka, I didn't know that. That's why I'm really happy I met Rise-chan, who's in the same boat.
We've been laughing about all the cliched backup situations we get into.
What, like those times when you send for backup and then the backup runs in and gets hit by Mudaon?
I see. I'm a bit jealous of you.
You? Jealous?
Mm-hmm. Our abilities may be a little different, but there's not actually much difference between us. There's times I catch myself thinking, maybe it doesn't really have to be me here. I mean, only sometimes, but when I get left behind because I'm not doing so hot, or when I get too tired and have to sub out, someone takes my place, and it's a short step from there to anyone with these abilities could do this.
This conversation, sorry to kill the mood, but it almost feels like a bit of a take that at players who just use one party in this game and don't focus on using everyone.
Yukari-chan.
Sorry, I guess I'm a little tired.
Why do you think that? You're all friends. The idea of some of you being unnecessary or replaceable doesn't apply.
That...
What is it?
It's nothing.
Nope, you have to say it. If you don't say anything, we won't understand. We can't understand.
We're not really friends. We were just gathered for a purpose. There are a few of us who get along on a personal level, but that's it.
But you trust them, right? If you didn't, you wouldn't be able to know they've got your back. There was a time that I lost sight of myself. After I entered showbiz, this Rosette character was pushed on me. I lost track of which one I was. I hated Rosette, but at the same time, I thought the real me wasn't worth anything. But then I met my senpai, and they saved me. They said I never changed, that all the parts of me, even Rosette, make up who I am, that no one else in the world could be me. Worth isn't a thing you earn because of what you can do. My senpai took me in just the way I am, plain old me. That's why I fight for my senpai. They made me stronger, so I want to protect them now.
That might be true for you and your friends, but...
Junpei-san said you're fighting for world peace. I think that's a really amazing thing. But can you do it? If you don't even trust your companions? If you can't even say what's on your mind?
That's...
Geez, fire back at me! I was being mean there. I can just tell from watching. You're all on tiptoes around each other, trying not to butt heads. It's easier to ignore a problem than to rock the boat, after all. Am I right? Sorry, but let me say something else about me again. I brushed off things so I wouldn't get hurt. I thought that was the adult way to handle it. But the fact is, the stuff that I thought I was brushing off, it was really all building up inside me. So sometimes I'd explode and take it out on people or say selfish things. I hated myself for doing that.
When you think about it, Yukari is not really all that different.
That's a lot like me.
It's scary to come out and say what you think, right? But they're your companions. They're at your side. Sure, there are compatibility issues and personality differences, and everyone won't all love each other.
Unless they're Gary Stu.
But at the very least, they'll understand. You trust your lives to these people when you fight. There's nothing you can't solve by talking it out. All you need right now is the courage.
Coming to an understanding, though? It's my senpai who don't want that.
Yukari-chan.
Fuka, why are you crying? I'm sorry, it's my fault for saying all that stuff.
That's not it. I didn't understand you at all, Yukari-chan. I didn't know you were so troubled.
Nah, it wasn't like that. I thought it just couldn't be helped, so I tried to ignore it.
Yukari-chan, I'm so sorry. See? You do want to be understood, right?
Jeez, can you turn off that teen idol smile already?
So, leader, shouldn't you take better care of Yukari-chan?
Huh?
Plot twist, Gary Stu was listening in the whole time.
How long have you been standing there? I mean, did you hear all of that? What? It's not like I don't trust you or anything, okay? I mean, I think you're reliable and you always help me out, so I want to understand you more too, and... Hey, what are you making me say? Jeez, keep that a secret from everyone, okay?
Hey, leader, do you think I was out of line saying those things to her?
definitely not.
Okay then. My friends are all pretty awkward too.
That's an understatement.
That's why I couldn't leave Yukari-chan alone.
It's hard to believe you're younger than me, Rise-chan.
So, yeah, I really love that conversation. That's why I was silent for most of it. I really think that conversation just speaks for itself. It's just two lovers Arcana characters just having a heart-to-heart. Oh, it's just so great. Rise is one of my favorite characters in these games because of conversations like that. There are moments where she does just seem like the clingy, jealous girl for you, but then there are other times where she just goes and does that, and then, yeah, that was amazing. So, with that done, we're actually not done with the Evil Spirit Club yet, sadly. We do have one request, the secret message one, and we have to go back and kill the FOEs. That's gonna be kind of a pain. Also, we have another quest that's just unlocked, so I think there'll be at least 2 more parts now before the next dungeon. There'll be one where I do a couple of side quests, and another where I fight the FOEs. And then, it'll be time for the Inaba Pride exhibit, which I've been looking forward to because it's my favourite dungeon in the game. And it has some of my favourite music in the entire game. I will actually be grinding a little bit though before we go there. I want to get everyone up to at least level 35 before I start, maybe 36, because the basic enemies on the first floor are level 40-ish, so yeah. Might be a bit hard to keep this pace going. So, I will see you next time for some side quests, and then later on, my favourite dungeon. See you then.